Hello, and welcome to another broadcast of A Senior's Perspective with a Twist. I have been talking about in the past few series of my videos about um, hobbies. I want to change that and talk about a different subject area that I think that needs to be discussed. I want to give a series of Thanksgiving subjects. I want to talk about uh, thank God for farmers. And you know what a farmer is. A farmer is one who tills his land and produces crops. Uh, we should all thank God for our farmers who produce foods and grow our crops, and then they harvest them that they might be taken and uh, produced foodstuffs for you and I. Farmers work long and hard days. Sometimes it's 6 days a week, and there's only 7 days, and some have to put in another extra day for whatever it is that needs to be taken care of in order to grow crops. And there is more than one kind of farmer. There's your agricultural farmer, and then there's also the ones who raise uh, cattle. But for the sake of talking about farmers, we want to discuss things that they do that make our lives so much better. As I said, thank God for farmers. Farming is an occupation that's not glorified like professional sports or like the entertainment business. Farmers, no, they're wearing clothes that get dirty, and they're dirt up under their fingernails. Hands are callous, all because they work hard to make sure that you and I have food, and they don't get paid accordingly, like your sports figures and your entertainment people. No, farming is hard work, and the pay does not equal the hard work that's put in. Uh, in a recent survey, it was reported that there were over 2 million farms in the U.S. Uh, most farms the majority of them are owned by families. Families, in other words, father and mother raise their children, and their children take over the farms or help them while they're young. And when they get older, and mom and dad is no longer able, uh, then they take over the farms and again work those farms. And those farms, the food that comes from it, the crops, the grains, they get processed and manufactured in the stores for you and I, or put in the stores, I should say. In 2020, uh, there were 897 million acres of farmland. Uh, and as I said, about 98% of farms in this country are owned by families. Let me tell you the extent why we should be thankful to God for farmers. Without farmers, we would not be able to regularly go to the grocery store and buy our foodstuffs, stock our pantries, have our refrigerators full. There needs to be a thanksgiving to God for farmers. Without farmers, we would be in much dire need. We would have to do our own raising of our crops in our backyards, and you know, our city codes don't allow most city codes don't allow you to have cows and goats and chickens and all that unless there's an exception. But regularly speaking, our farmers help supply our restaurants, help us. Then when we go to the restaurant, they have chicken, they have pork, they have whatever the heart desires, depending on which restaurant you go to. Our pantries at our homes are stocked with the foodstuffs that farmers raise. Yes, we do need to say thank you to the farmers for the work that they do in our country. We would have to grow our own if they didn't do it. In essence, we need to say thank you for the farmers and the hard work that they do. We need to say thank you to God for allowing farmers in this land to produce so much food. We have so much food in this country that even a lot of it is thrown away when we don't even eat it, all because of God has blessed us to have farmers who work tirelessly to supply the people of this land and this country with food. Farmers' jobs are important, no matter what people think. Farmers are very important job occupation for this country. Without farmers, we would be in dire need if they didn't grow the crops, if they didn't go out and work these hard, long hours for you and for me. And then in return, a lot of times they don't get equal pay for equal work for the products. Sometimes they take losses in their crops, in their cattle raising, because something goes wrong. Being a farmer, you have to face the weather. You have to face the wind, the snow, the rain, the cold, the heat. All these things we need to take mind of, and that is farmers are a blessing to you and I. And I wanted to just dedicate this particular segment of a series of Thanksgiving to farmers for what they mean to you and I. Thank you. I hope that I've said something to be helpful and to be inspirational and to help us to be thankful for what farmers mean to us in this country. Thank you again for watching this particular segment of A Senior's Perspective with a Twist.